pobili rekord świata wjazdu na najwyższą wysokość samodzielnie wybudowanym pojazdem elektrycznym. Mówię tu o projekcie Peak Evolution. Moi drodzy, przedstawiam Wam Anię Płocińską i Davida Preschera. Hey, how are you guys?
Super, piękny dzień. Oh, sorry, now I messed it up.
Thanks to David, I think it's better now to switch to English. So this power walk is gonna be in English. You guys like walking and talking?
Yeah, sure. We hike a lot and philosophize. So.
Yeah, we do a lot of walks together and talk about life. It's definitely helping to bring the oxygen to the brain and get the ideas.
Exactly. And about the ideas, we're gonna talk today about breaking barriers one step at a time, which sounds interesting. But before we move to this topic and tell you guys, power walkers, about your stories, Anna and David, we would like to thank Natalia from Zero Gravity, who she connected us.
Yes, she connected us here through LAX. LAX definitely connects people, and it's been my hometown for a while, working with Zero Gravity. Actually, Mateusz, you had Michał on your podcast last week.
Yes.
Up on the mountain, I think. It was also quite a nice walk, no?
Yeah, Michał, who is the founder of Zero Gravity, actually he introduced LAX to many Polish people. More than 3,000 people from Poland are coming here every year. Amazing, huh?
Yeah, it's great. Also, David, you noticed, no? How many Polish people...
Yeah, now after I know you, I notice like half the people in LAX are Polish, yeah.
So thanks to Natalia, we say hello. But now let's move to your stories. Both of you are coming from the big cities. Anna, you're coming from Warsaw. David, you lived in Zurich, and now where are you living?
So we are both living about 40 minutes from here, near the town of Sargans. And it's a good strategic place because there's about 5-6 ski resorts right around our town, and we can just go from our house. We can go up the mountain to go skiing and mountain biking. So I basically lived in Zurich my whole life. I was born there. I was working as a project manager in construction, and it was a pretty nice life. You know, I had my company car and flat and everything, but my passion was always the sport. And at some point I realized I had no clue what I was doing last year. I just knew, okay, I've been working for the whole year, but I couldn't remember like a specific adventure or anything I've done that year. And I realized, okay, I have to quit this job, and I want to go to the mountains where I feel more at home and I can do more exciting, have a more exciting life.
More exciting life in the mountain than in the city. Come on, that sounds strange. Usually the excitement is in the cities, and you thought different way?
Yeah, for me, having so many people around doesn't necessarily improve the quality of life. You know, you have these quick distractions, you know, you have like the shopping, you have the cinemas, you have restaurants, bars, but it is not, it is always like quick and short-lived. While for me, doing like outdoor sports and like having the physical challenge gives me a more long-lasting satisfaction and also memories that they are positive for a longer time. So being in the nature is just more valuable in the end for me.
Cool. I like that. That sounds good to me, and I hope to you too. Watch out, guys! It's very slippery here. Beautiful. And you, Anna?
Yeah, I grew up in Warsaw, studied in Warsaw, and I think for me, the second I fell in love with snowboarding, I knew I want to be in the mountains. And this way I can do it more often and enjoy the nature. But the main reason is like I'm also quite a lazy person, which is maybe not a good like example for other people, but I think we all struggle with motivation. And for me, changing this environment to be surrounded by mountains, by people who daily want to do the sport, it also helps to do it myself. So like the environment really quickly motivates you to get out, and the mountains are also busy with people. It's just people who want to do these things outdoors, and when everybody is spending time together outdoors, like we are straight away more happy and more full of energy, I would say.
We think the same way in Power Walks, because we are not alone here now. Even when we are walking, we know that there is hundreds of people, maybe even thousands, walking with us. And this is also good motivation for this. It's interesting that you say that you are a lazy person, looking at your achievements and what you do for living, because you are a snowboarder, you're a instructor, so actually your work is active. But I must tell you, I'm the same. I'm a professional athlete and I don't like to move so much. But if I see that I have an option to go skiing, sailing and so on, and when I do this, I feel completely different. But to motivate, I need some inspirations from the other people and push, like the schedule for another competition. This is my motivation. Interesting.
Yeah, I think with me and David, we are quite the opposite. He's more of a person who will get out of the house and go cross-country skiing for 20 kilometers, and or like going uphill with the ski touring. And for me, if you ask me to go uphill where there's a lift, I will say no way. But if there is a nice goal, like I'm gonna go to that mountain because there is no lift, and there the walk gets me to a place which I will never see otherwise. So there is like another extra motivation. And I was thinking about the power walks. Maybe if somebody doesn't enjoy just the idea of walking, they can find a reason to walk. So let's say you want to visit some places in your city. Then you wake up and you think, oh, it's not about I'm going to walk. It's about, oh, I'm going to see a new place today.
To explore.
Exactly, to explore. And then you find the motivation in a different way, because in the end, like everybody has a bit different things they enjoy. So it's best if you find something you enjoy, then it's always easier to move.
I like your passion for movement and moving from the big city to the countryside, to the mountain. I understand it was a good move, yeah?
Oh, definitely.
Cool. Beautiful. David, it's amazing what you do with your expeditions. Peak Evolution is the world record drive up with the self-made electric car. Actually, it's a van. When you want to see this, you can go to the description of this power walk, and then you will find the link to the website of your project, but also to your LinkedIn and Instagram. So if you want to follow Anna and David, you can do this, but do this after our power walk, not now, okay? But now let's continue to your amazing adventure. One was in South America, another was just weeks ago in Africa. How was it to create this project, but mostly to experience such a, I understand, difficult and tough trip?
So yeah, Peak Evolution, that was my project that I initiated, and I did it with my two best friends. And it was actually very much at the start when I just actually took this decision that I want to leave the city. It was also actually a reason why that was the moment to leave the city, because I was always very interested in sustainability, technology, and also electric mobility. And I I just had this dream that all the vehicles that are working around here in the ski resort, you know, they're doing maintenance and transportation, they're off-road vehicles, they should be electric, because there is a lot of tourists around here, a lot of nature-loving people, and they don't want the noise and the pollution from the combustion engine vehicles. So I came up with this idea to build this off-road transport vehicle, and to promote it, to really kickstart this development, I had the idea to set a world record, to drive up to the highest point any electric vehicle has ever reached. That is a volcano in Chile. And we worked on this project about 4 or 5 years, and it was extremely tough. And on this project, actually, my experience with endurance sports helped a lot, because I do a lot of ski tours, for example. Since I'm a child, I already did it when I was 8 years old with my father, and I was used to walking, and I always think I saw the summit, but when you get there, you know, there behind there's a mountain that is a little bit higher, and then you get there and it's still not the summit. So when I was little, I got frustrated, but with the time I learned to understand that sometimes it's not what you see is already the top, but the top is behind. And it was the same with our project. There was always one problem, and when we solved, there was a bigger problem and a bigger one. But in the end, we managed to keep going, and we actually set this world record. And I'm very happy that Anna could come with me on this expedition as a camera woman. And yeah, so this Peak Evolution expedition was actually quite a physical one, because we were at nearly 7,000 meters altitude. So every step outside is a challenge, you know, like you walk 10 meters and you're out of breath, and we had to move rocks, and we had to go walk up, check out the situation. It was always extremely cold. For me, it was an amazing adventure. Like it gave me, like, I will definitely never forget any of it. It was really cool. And
it was a couple of years ago, huh?
No, it was actually just a bit more than 1 year ago. Like, yeah. We came back about 1 year ago from now.
Beautiful. So yeah. You said it was physical, but you had to move a lot. What's about the last expedition you did across the Africa?
Yeah.
You joined the team, yeah?
Exactly. Like based on the experience from Peak Evolution, I was asked to join a team that was crossing Africa, the whole continent of Africa, from Paris to Cape Town with electric vehicles, only charged with solar power along the way with mobile solar solar panels. And this expedition was called La Croisière Verte. And on that expedition, we were actually sitting most of the time in the car. So we were traveling across the African continent with like amazing things to see around. Like there's mountains, lakes, rivers, rainforests. There is all the wild animals. But because of the schedule, we actually sat in the car most of the time. And for me, my mood was getting lower and lower after I was there for 2 months. And my mood was getting lower over the time, because I was sitting there, I couldn't move. I saw all the nice things, but I couldn't go and actually interact. So I quit the expedition after half the time, even though like I got paid for it, but while for Peak Evolution I didn't get paid. So the money was actually not even enough of a motivation to keep doing it.
If I understand well, this kind of driving, not moving, looking at the beautiful places, lake, mountain, countryside, it was like a small torture, huh?
Yeah, it was really like a torture. And every little, like we had sometimes problems where, you know, we had the car were braking or they were stuck or something, and we could get out and do something, build something. Immediately I was excited, but just the driving itself, it was really like a little torture.
Yeah, I remember like we were talking on the phone, and like the day when you're charging with solar power and you have a bit more time, you went for like 1 hour walk in the forest and you were straight away happier and smiling. I think like many of us, we often drive the car. I don't know, did you come here by car? Or
Yes, yes.
I noticed myself when I did longer trips to the mountains, many times we also pass things on the way, like on the highway and so on. And what I learned, especially after Chile, is like it doesn't take a lot to stop and get out, especially when you're driving across half of Europe.
Yeah.
You see a nice view and you're like, oh, that was nice. And instead you can just go park. It takes about 5 minutes. You get out and suddenly you realize, like, past the parking fence you have the most beautiful view you may have missed while driving. So it's these little moments when like it takes a split second and you can change the whole trip. Sometimes it's one view and you're gonna have a beautiful day.
I'm so happy that you said that, because I found out the same, and I think it's an inspiration for the others when we travel. But not only travel, David, what you said, it reminds me about the situations what we experience at work, in the offices, in the buildings, in the big cities. You know, it's the same like you were locked in your vehicle, not being able to enjoy a little bit of fresh air, go for a walk, enjoy the touch of the lake, be close to the nature, or even go for some activity, because we are so busy going from one project to another, to reaching another goal and being on time, when we always have a lack of time doing our job. And this is great comparison about what you experience in Africa and what we're experiencing in our daily lives. But because not everyone here walking with us have the opportunity to do expeditions like you. Did you, how you ended up this expedition in Africa?
In the end, it was actually interesting because I had about 8 days from the first question, do you want to join this expedition, to getting on the plane and leaving home for 2 months.
8 days.
8 days. And 8 days, in 8 days I had to do all the vaccinations that were necessary. I had to renew my passport. I had to move all my work meetings and the duties and deadlines that I had in 2 months. I had to move everything out of the way.
Yeah.
And it was like kind of a tough decision, but in the end I didn't really hesitate. I was like straight away like I have to do it.
Yeah, but we also had the discussion about the movement. You were worried already before leaving that it seems like an adventure, but at the same time it doesn't look like there's going to be much opportunity to do sports. And then what's going to happen after 2 months of not doing sports?
Yeah.
So,
no, that was definitely a concern, but still, like the I would say this idea of an adventure, because it was still an adventure. Like there's no denying, like these 2 months in Africa was also a big adventure, especially the way we traveled and what we saw, and like places we went where not many people have traveled in the last 10 years. And it was an adventure, but I would say, oh shit, no, I clicked something. Is it
So
still recording?
It's recording, but
okay.
I think it's working well.
I pressed the button. No, it was, I just wanted to say, like, you know, when you're confronted with this opportunity, it is really hard to swap the everyday comfort for like the big unknown, because it was still like I had everything planned. I had my my work and also my schedule for the sports. You know, I was even training for the ski
Yeah,
season.
we were big plans.
We were training
for the
every day
winter.
for the winter season.
We missed the winter before being
Yeah.
in Chile during summer in
Yeah.
the south.
Yeah.
And then it
side.
was, in the end, it was still like swapping the unknown for the comfort of every day.
Was it worth it on the end?
Yes, I would still say it
Why?
was because it's like the same with Peak Evolution and with the second expedition that I did, La Croisière Verte. Those are two experiences that no money in the world could buy you. Again, like, you know, Peak Evolution, okay, you could say I take 2 million euros, I build another vehicle, I do this whole same thing, but it's not, it's like many experiences you can buy with money in a way. Like you can go skydiving, you can go river rafting. It's like these kind of experiences that are as a package, kind of.
Yeah.
And these two experiences, like with these expeditions, it's something that no money in the world can buy you. And for that reason, even if it was not always perfectly enjoyable, I would never decide to not do it because I could have done more sports, or I could have earned more money at home or something. I wouldn't swap it.
I think what also is important in this kind of experience is that you learn a lot, and I can only imagine how much you learn as an experience with the electric driving, solar energy, which I found it's so big topic now in Switzerland. We are here in Lax, and in our apartment we have a beautiful book which is actually created for us to read about the whole projects and ideas, actually the things which is already happening, how solar energy is going to be used here, because, and this could be interesting for you, all the research said that if the temperature, every temperature will go up to 1.5 degree higher, then this is going to be catastrophic for this land here. Actually, not only here, but the whole world. And this is happening. So Switzerland is a good example how to use the solar energy. And you are really into this business. Can you say a little bit about that? Maybe as an inspiration for us Polish and other countries, because we are not only working here in Poland, but also in Ireland, in the United States. Let's go.
Well, I mean, it's flattering that you take Switzerland as an example for like sustainability. From my point of view, it's not necessarily the case, at least not for entire Switzerland. Many people are still like way too hesitant, but Lax as a resort has a really clear strategy how they want to become sustainable and also carbon neutral over the next few years, which I really respect. Like you know, them as a small region, they have a plan which is very cool. And me personally, I would also do whatever I can, like where we live on our house. We already a few years ago we installed a very big solar power plant, and we drive an electric car and all of that. But still, like I wouldn't necessarily maybe call Switzerland as like a ideal region, because you know, I've been to Poland, and they are also doing what they can. So yeah, I think it's just.
What can be taken from your expeditions as a research, as a development to in the future?
Yeah.
What do you think? What are you working on? You have this mathematical, physical mindset, so maybe something.
So I
for
mean,
us.
you know, I'm as my job, I'm electrifying all kinds of working machines, like from train to tractor to any kind of vehicle. We turn it from combustion to electric, and my approach is just you yeah, like take the next step that is the easiest and has the most effect. You know, it's not like you know, you cannot look too far in the future and look at everything at the same time because yeah, it will overwhelm you. So it's just the little steps that we can do next,
think
I would say.
That's what you said. It's one step at a time.
Yeah.
This way you're breaking the barriers and making not
I would-
revolution,
Yeah,
but evolution.
yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Also, you know, many times, especially on the way in Chile, we meet people and there's always this skepticism about solar energy and everything. But when you look in small steps, it is progress. And of course, it's progress that brings also negative sides. And people are always going to say, oh, but the batteries, but the recycling of panels and all of that. But it's slow progress, and we're trying to figure out slowly how to take it better, make it better. And if you look like only at the bad sides of the something that is new, of course there's going to be skepticism. But for me, for example, I've learned a lot by traveling with solar, because only then I started understanding how much power we actually need to travel, how much time it takes to, for example, recharge the car, and you become quickly much more aware of the whole energy grid. Like before, I was more like, okay, I plug my phone, it works, I pay my bill, it's all okay. But when you start thinking, okay, if the sun is there, I will have more energy, how can I optimize it? You become more aware where we get this energy and how we use it. And yeah, with small steps we can make progress. And I think also when it comes to the physical activity, when I teach with my students while snowboarding, in the end it's about taking a small step or small movement to widen a bit your comfort zone. And it's not about straight away thinking, oh, I'm never gonna ride a black slope, because if you take these small steps, then you don't realize suddenly you're much better.
Yeah.
And you've made progress, even though it was a tiny bit, maybe once a day. So
Yeah, and painful in the beginning.
and sometimes
Yeah,
painful in the
discomfort, not painful,
No,
but
yeah.
discomfort. Yeah.
I think that's a good point, because it's not painful, it's just discomfort. Painful would be if you go from 0 to 100 and you try the black slope. But if
Yeah.
you take the small steps, it might be a bit of discomfort, but in the end it won't be a big pain, and you suddenly are at your end goal with like a smooth progress line.
Yeah, also the rewards, they don't kick in straight away. You know, I mean, it's like everybody says it now, but you know, when you open your phone and you look at Instagram or you watch a video on YouTube, you basically get the reward instantly. Like, yeah, this is fun or something, but when you actually get into a new habit, be it a new sport or another, it takes sometimes months or even years for the full reward to kick in. But in turn, those rewards are then longer lasting.
Yeah.
So it's
What an amazing power walk. I really enjoy it. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, David.
yeah, it was
Thank you
cool to
for
be.
having us.
Yeah. Is it possible to see you around here in Lux often when it's winter?
Of course.
Yeah, I would
At
say.
least when it comes to me, at least once a week.
Right.
This is almost my hometown right now. I don't live here, but
you live nearby.
It's where my heart is when it comes to the mountains of Switzerland, and it will always be my first choice resort.
Beautiful. If you want to follow Anna and David, please check the links. We put it here in Opis. How is Opis in English?
Description
Description, yes.
under the video.
Under the video. And also we are streaming on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, so you can also see it. Thanks a lot, guys. Good luck in your future projects. I hope we can meet again. It's amazing how we how I learn a lot thanks to you. And we wish you a beautiful day to all of you. And see you tomorrow on the next Power Walk.
We wish everybody a beautiful Power Walk.
Yeah.
Whether it's in a city or in the mountains,
Yeah.
find a little adventure of your own and enjoy it.
And have a passion for movements like you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope everybody manages to find it. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thanks.
All right.
Okay, guys. Thank you and see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
Dzięki za wspólny spacer. Partnerem strategicznym PowerWalk jest platforma MultiLife od Benefit Systems. Masz pytanie? To zadaj je w komentarzu. To był PowerWalk, Twój podcast w ruchu. Razem idziemy małymi krokami ku wielkim zmianom.